GPTs are an absolutely incredible way to supercharge your productivity. But what if you wanted a way to automate your GPT? Well, today we're going to do just that using Zapier and OpenAI's assistants. The possibilities with this are endless, and best part is zero coding needed. Prepare to level up and let's get right into it. Our use case today is going to be to create a daily newsletter that keeps tabs on Microsoft and OpenAI, the companies behind ChatGPT. But of course, this can apply to a wide range of use cases and topics. So we're going to leverage GPTs, the Assistants API, Zapier, and Gmail to bring this all together. And don't worry, it doesn't sound as complicated as it might seem at first. To start, I built a daily business brief GPT. Now, building a GPT is not an absolute requirement for automating our AI workflows, but it does provide an important starting point, as we'll see later on in the video. And if you're new to GPTs and would like a more thorough dive into building them, feel free to check out the video link down below. Looking at our GPT's instructions, we can see that it'll be providing us daily news on OpenAI and Microsoft while keeping things simple and approachable. You'll also notice I included a requirement for it to format the email in HTML. This is simply to make the email visually pleasing to read in our inbox, and you won't have to start brushing up on your HTML to get all this to work. Okay, now that we have instructions and an output we're happy with, let's head over to platform.openai.com. This is OpenAI's developer platform, but don't worry, as I promised, we will keep things very no-code friendly for today. But for those that do love to code, this is truly a place of limitless possibility. Let's briefly walk through the two main tabs we'll be using today. The playground is where we'll be able to take our AI assistant, aka GPT, for a spin and even tweak it live. You can imagine the playground as the turbocharged version of the configure page in the GPT builder, as many of these options will look familiar to you. Next, the assistants page is where we'll be building our custom AI assistant, again, pretty much just a souped up GPT. Before we continue building, I will point out the usage page, as things we do here are API event driven. This means that you'll be getting charged for usage when it comes to things such as prompting and testing. However, for non-intensive use cases like today, each request is likely only a cent or two. Personally, I added $10 to my account, and even after tons of messing around in the last couple weeks, I've barely made a dent in my budget. Though of course, your mileage may vary quite drastically depending on what it is you're doing and looking to accomplish. Now for the exciting part, let's bring our AI assistant to life. So back on the assistants page, let's click create, and we'll name it daily business brief. And now for the fun part. Since we already have instructions we know work great, let's copy the instructions we had in our GPT builder and paste them right here. This is the beauty of using the GPT builder, as sometimes starting with a blank slate is truly daunting. For the model, I'd highly suggest either selecting GPT-4 or GPT-4 11-6, at least at the time of recording. 1106 was the one OpenAI debuted at their dev day, and it is awesome, so we'll go with that. The following options under tools are where you can really have some fun and unleash the power of assistants. But for today, we'll keep things very simple and skip this section, as our instructions more than cover our use case. So we'll go ahead and click save. And just like that, our daily business brief has been created. Let's go out and test it out by clicking test in the top right hand corner. And as you can see, it takes us back to the playground. Now, where it differs here from the GPT is that the playground doesn't come with any conversation starters, as most of this is oriented towards developers building these sort of capabilities into their own application so that can then trigger the GPT or assistant. So in our case, we'll copy our original conversation starter from our GPT and paste it in here. Then click add and run. And just like that, we have a beautifully formatted email, though it may not look like that in this specific view. For those curious, you can actually click on the Logs tab to see the code it ran in the background, which is truly mind-blowing when you think about how we just accomplished all this ourselves without writing a single line of code. So with the brains of our operations done, let's head over to Zapier and fully automate our wonderful helper. For those not familiar, Zapier lets you connect thousands of apps together and pull off some pretty incredible workflows. So once you're logged in, for ease of use, I'd recommend connecting the relevant apps before building your Zaps. So head over to the apps page and make sure that ChatGPT and Gmail are connected. If you don't see them there, you can simply click Add Connection and find them on the list. Now let's build our Zap that'll be automatically triggered every morning to deliver our hot of the presses business news. First, we'll click Create a Zap. For the trigger, we'll actually select Schedule, which allows Zapier to kick things off at set intervals. For event, we'll choose Every Day, then hit Continue. We'll leave the weekend trigger on, and as for time of day, let's choose 6 a.m. since they say the early bird catches the worm. Then we'll hit Continue again. And as you can see, it pretty much includes the date and time in any conceivable format that you'd ever need it in. So we'll go with Continue with selected record. Now it's time to select our action. So we'll head over and choose ChatGPT. Under Event, we'll then choose Conversation with Assistant, then Continue. Now, for the message here, we're going to enter the prompt that we know works, which was create today's newsletter. And then under Assistant, we're going to choose the assistant that has our custom instructions configured for this specific task. In this case, it's our daily business brief assistant. So let's select that. All these other fields can be left blank, as everything we need defined has already been done so in the assistance itself. And then we'll hit Continue. Now, for this step, I would highly recommend running the test to make sure that Zapier and ChatGPT are playing together nicely. So we'll select Test Step. This step may take a while since it'll need to run the code, summarize the news itself, and then send it back to us. And success! Now, as we can see, everything in blue here, or purple, is everything that ChatGPT sent back. And then here is our full response, which is what ChatGPT gave back to Zapier after it received the prompt, which is basically our formatted email. Okay, everything here looks good. So let's add our last and final step, which is to send us an email of this summary. So we'll go ahead here and click Add Step, then select Gmail, and under Event, we'll select Send Email, and then hit Continue. Then fill out these fields as required. For subject, I'll just keep it simple for now and add in today's brief. But you can do things such as add today's date, or even get really fancy and add in a headline from the brief itself. Now, this part is very important. For the body type, you must select HTML, otherwise our email will come out looking like gibberish. So we'll hit HTML. And then for the body of the email, we need to tell it that our email consists of the response we got back from ChatGPT. So we'll select into the field, select Conversations with Assistant, and then we'll go ahead and find our full response. And we'll select that. Click out the box, and everything else looks good, so then we'll click Continue. Okay, so everything looks good. Now the moment of truth. Let's send a test email by clicking Test Step. And look at that. Our email looks great and is formatted correctly. So the last step will be to name our Zap, Daily Business Brief, hit Enter, and then finally publish. I'll call it version 1. And just like that, our daily Zap is live and good to go. And so we've successfully managed to automate ChatGPT using Zapier in a few easy steps. Would love to hear what sort of use cases you'd use this type of workflow for down in the comments below. Thanks for watching and catch you in the next one.